Okay. In the last session, we saw how the differences between linear regression, simple linear regression, and multiple linear regression, right? And we also learned classification technique, right? So I'll take the same dataset that I have used in the simple linear regression. Just that this time I'm going to have more number of independent variables. So the same dataset, it's about the number of cars and the details about the cars, right? Now, when we built the model initially, we just had one independent variable. Now I have got two, and we can have more also, right? So for simplicity, I'm just having two. Okay. So my dependent variable is mileage here, and my independent variables are length and weight. So I just want to see how length and weight are affecting the mileage of the car, right? So this is the syntax remains. And I suppose you are familiar with the syntax, right?
So this, as of now, you're doing a linear regression with Cosmo, right?
Sorry?
And you're trying out linear regression.
Yeah, this was linear. Already we have done simple linear. Now we are doing multiple linear regression. Got it?
So multiple linear. Simply multiple linear. एक ही variable. इसमें दो variable है, length और weight. उसमें भी हमने लिया है ना, length की weight एक लिया था.
We are taking only one. Confused?
I mean, in the sense, when you talk about variables, you mean these data, right?
Yes.
Length and weight. Right. तो वहाँ पे भी हमने try out किया था.
Okay, maybe I'm just repeating it. Okay. Anyway, this is multiple linear regression. Okay. Now you go to the output and see. So just tell me, when you go to the output, what do you see?
So p-value, it should be
first thing, the p-value, right? The p-value is, so the model is overall explaining good, right? So that's one thing. Then R square.
Yeah. This thing I didn't understand last time. What does it signify?
R square. It says how good is a model. It varies between 0 and 1. The more it is close to 1, it is.
So the final conclusion is R square.
Yes, but then in multiple regression you have adjusted R square. So that is more important because it penalizes for using more independent variables.
Yeah.
Right?
And one more thing. This signifies the importance of variable.
Importance of independent variable. But overall, your model, by having independent variable, your model has improved. I mean, it has really been able to explain. This is an overall model.
So currently we have multiple independent variables.
Yes, yes.
So shouldn't we have more than one?
We'll see that later. We'll come to that. We'll go to the individual one. This is like overall. Okay. Sure. The individual part will come down. Okay, in a parameter estimates. Okay. Now you have seen, just see that you have it intercept, you have slope coefficient for length and weight, right? You parameter estimates, standard error, t values, and the corresponding p values, right? So now let me explain everything once again. Okay. Parameter estimate is just a slope value, right? I should not explain it again. Standard error is like upper limit, lower limit, right? Correct way or standard you have anything? Standard error is means, let me explain it again. Standard error is like it will be more than this and more than less than that. That kind of thing.
That's like below and up.
It's like, so for example, how much you think? If somebody asks you, okay, how much you expect your salary to be? Well, I expect my salary to be 5 lakhs plus 50,000 minus 50,000. Okay. So standard error here is 50,000. Okay. Did you get the point? So that's standard error. So it's just like upper limit or lower limit. Okay, where it is not lying. Then t values and p values, not tell me significance level. Explain. I've explained many times. Look at it and just explain. How many are significant? Which value is significant?
Sorry, this one is significant. This one is significant.
Intercept, that first one is significant, and
second variable is not significant.
not
Right?
significant.
Third is significant.
Yeah,
Right?
because
So that means length is not significant. Weight is significant. It says that length The mileage doesn't depend on length. It does depend on weight of the car.
Okay. Here one thing actually, means whichever the signals sign come, that we need to ignore, right?
Whichever?
Here it is minus 16. So that we just assume.
Yeah.
We need to assume 16.
But here it's important. Here it's important. Okay. For example, here it's negative, right? So how do you, somebody if asks you, okay, if you increase the size, weight of the car, with the mileage going to go up or go down? So how do you know?
With more weight.
You go and see
अच्छा
here.
यहाँ पर
Go down.
अच्छा
I'm not
because
asking you the
it's a
numerics
negative
for it.
relationship.
Yes. Right. The second variable is if somebody asks you if we increase the length, what is going to be the impact on mileage?
0.00536 is the unit mileage decrease.
I'm asking about length. If I increase length,
हाँ,
so what is the impact on mileage?
हाँ तो जितना लेंथ 1 यूनिट अगर आप लेंथ इंक्रीज करेंगे तो 1 यूनिट आपका माइलेज डिक्रीज होगा.
Mileage doesn't have anything.
This is insignificant variable, sir.
I mean, but then, I mean, the way we saw it, it is negative, so we could conclude. But ये positive value है, so how we are not able to conclude, right?
But we say that it's an insignificant variable. What does that mean?
But then that is just based on this value, right? This specific value.
Yes, sir. Insignificant means it has no impact.
No impact.
So what is my no impact? Zero impact. That means whether you increase or decrease doesn't matter. Okay.
But यहाँ पे फिर value क्यों आ रही है? नहीं, I mean ideally, अगर हम सच में अगर weight बढ़ा देते हैं, उससे कुछ तो फर्क पड़ता ही है ना?
Sir,
Sorry,
but
length.
statistically it is not justified. ठीक है? And why it is coming 0.05? When I explained to you hypothesis testing, I told you that this is sample thing. We do hypothesis testing on this just to see whether this works for population. 0.005 is very close to 0, right? So we found in hypothesis testing that this is equivalent to 0. And will you explain 0? 0 into multiplied anything is 0. What's the point? So every time you see the p value is less than greater than 0.05, you call it an insignificant variable. And if somebody asks you, you just say that it has no impact. So you don't have to look at the parameters. Don't have to look at it. It's just 0. It's equivalent to 0.
एक्चुअली वो आपके वीडियोस में दिया हुआ था कि पैरामीटर एस्टिमेट्स में दिया था कि अगर सेम एग्जांपल है उसमें भी अगर लेंथ 1 यूनिट बढ़ाते हैं तो 1 यूनिट माइलेज डिक्रीज होगा. ऐसा आपका लाइन है. फिर रिपीट कर देना.
और 1 यूनिट नहीं होगा वो that will be that this unit parameter estimate. If we increase weight by 1 unit, the corresponding decrease in mileage will be minus decrease because negative here, right? 0.005 unit. समझ में आया? And second variable के लिए length के लिए it's useless. Why? Because it's insignificant variable. Now is this clear or should I repeat again? If it's not clear, I will repeat again.
एक क्वेश्चन ये है कि like I mean if in case like we considering like this, so mileage के लिए this is insignificant. Why are we getting the value at the first instance?
I said na sir, this is sample.
अच्छा.
But we do not.
But then अभी यहाँ पे we could conclude because we know about this data. But in real scenario, in case we get certain data, जहाँ पे we not able to conclude, then we get confused by these values.
Why when you say that this is this, see when 0.005 is equal to 0, it clearly says it's equal to 0.
But then this also is almost negative, so it is also 0.005.
Sir, I understand that, but it has a statistical significance. But the other value do not have it doesn't have a statistical significance. That's why we do hypothesis testing.
So that is like based on this you're saying yes. So this is the primary thing that we need to take in account.
So your significance level doesn't only depend on your actual value, it also depends on variation of the data. We don't know what is the variation of the data, right? We are not able to see the data. If you see that, then you will be able to. That's difficult. So first thing, again, look at the p value first.
हाँ वही मैं बोल ही रहा था कि p वैल्यू t वैल्यू देख के वहां से निकल जाना अच्छा रहेगा या फिर ये दिखने जाना.
हाँ.
तो उसको देखने की जरूरत
Just look at the p value first. Mark करो, you just mark which variables are significant. ठीक है? जो significant नहीं है, just forget about it. ठीक. Don't do any analysis on them. You will go confused. Only explain the significance of it. Got it?
इसका आपने क्या बताया था 1.96 should be the perfect thing.
Yeah, I mean, it should be greater than that. I mean the modulus of that. Negative sign just ignore. Okay?
But then this is coming as negative.
Sir, अभी मैंने बोला आप सुन नहीं रहे
नहीं, ये
आप check
negative
करें।
without कर-
उसका मैं एरियल
Modulus of this. Modulus.
अच्छा mod.
Anyway, clear? That is the clear. Is clear, right? And you can try. See, for example, that's not an issue. I know it's a bit confusing. I know it's very confusing actually. See, you started with length. You can try out log of length also. Just create one variable, say log length is equal to log of length. Okay. You can do this, and then we can also use this log length variable. Let's see if that comes significant.
इसका ग्राफ भी प्लॉट कर सकते हो नहीं होगा
I can also plot graph. So ठीक है? So you can just take log length also. So just instead of length, just use log length and see if actually it works.
Before we proceed, the question is actually try to get an answer.
Yeah.
What is the significance of taking log?
You just squeeze the data a bit.
अच्छा
Squeeze the data a bit. Just one transformation.
अच्छा अच्छा
Nothing else. Okay. Now you see that even the log length is not coming significant. You can just try out. You can just play with it. Okay. Try all your best. If it's not coming significant, then you cannot do anything about it. Keep on adding more variables like engine size and see whether R square is increasing. Okay, increase more. There will be a point after which your R square will not increase at all. Just stop there. So it's entirely up to you how you play with this data. So now this thing is done, right? I spoke about one thing.
एक बार और पूछनी थी
Yeah, yes, sir.
एक बार रिजल्ट में जाएंगे यहाँ पे लाइक इन दोनों का भी मतलब इसका वैल्यू और इसकी वैल्यू में रिलेशन होगा ना
D and P will. Yeah, they have relationship. They are very complex relationships.
वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स सो वी आर जस्ट कंसर्न अबाउट मतलब ये
Just think about. Don't worry about how they are related. Okay. So what you do is that we spoke about the problem of multicollinearity and autocorrelation, right? Autocorrelation I am not to cover here, but multicollinearity is very simple. And autocorrelation is actually not a problem because in this data we are not taking data for different time period, right? So we should not worry. That's a very rare case actually. When you have like same data for different time period, very rare. We never use all that. But multicollinearity is an issue. Length and weight could be actually correlated. Could be correlated. So for that we use what is known as VIF. Sorry. Variance inflation factor. ठीक है? Just listen to here first, then sir. Just listen to this first, then we'll. Okay. So VIF or variance inflation factor, it gives whether your data is there is multicollinearity in data or not. Okay. So generally expect that it should be less than 5. Okay. If it is like greater than 5, then there is presence of multicollinearity. But since this is less than 5, you should not worry about it. Or else what you do is that just do a proc correlation. Okay. Just check proc core data cards 1.
अच्छा VIF डालने से it becomes multicollinear
But it becomes you get to know whether there is multicollinearity in your data or not. Okay. Now you see that correlation is 0.69. So it's a pretty high correlation actually. Okay, so you should not use length and weight sometimes. There is no rule of thumb. Some people use it, some people don't use it. Okay. It depends on so many things. Anyway,
It should not be point.
it is 0.69, right? Okay, correlation is 0.69, right? The correlation between length and weight is 69. You can also look at the graph and see length is increasing means weight is increasing. So there seems to be high correlation, right? So it might cause issue. So having length and weight in the same model is not very encourageable. See, length anyways is insignificant. You don't have to worry. You just have to drop it from model. Just go with height with weight and add more variables like in size and other variables. Clear? Now we will see the classification problem. That is, for that we will take the second data set. Okay.
When we're doing this and we're checking those things, what conclusion are we drawing in sense of collinearity?
Multicollinearity. Multicollinearity is a problem, right? So do you want the problem to be there or problem should not be there?
It's not there.
Right? So when you test it, you just accept whether there is a problem or whether there is no problem. And we have seen that there is no problem. So it's a good thing, right? Then we should stop worrying about this.
So, like before removing variable,
Yes, we need to
first
see
do
this
this.
VIF, and its VIF should be maximum 5. Many people actually go till 10, but expectation is that it should be less than 5.
Ideally,
मतलब
should
five
be
तक वो
always less than 5.
5, but yeah, some people also,
5 तक we could use that variable.
yeah, we can use. Variance influence factor.
VIF का कोई
मैंने बोला ना वेरिएंस इन्फ्लेशन फैक्टर.
Less than 5. Or 10 goals. Let's say,
10 we कभी कभी like some people take 10.
Sometimes.
But in the industry I have seen people take 5. Okay, so we have created
वो बहुत crucial cases में use करते हैं जब बहुत ज़्यादा dependency होती है.
Okay, logistic keyword.
Okay, so here for logistic regression, right, for classification we use proc logistic instead of proc regression. Okay. Now a lot of things are going to change here. See here the dependent variable here is binary in nature.
Yes.
You know what is a binary variable?
0 or 1.
0 and 1, right? And this is actually, if you now the question is that why can't we use simple regression here? When you have your dependent variable is not continuous, we cannot use simple regression. This regression cannot be used. Multiple regression cannot be used. You have to use some other method. So proc logistic is used when you have like categorical or at least binary data. Okay.
So for binary data, always we go for logistic, never regression.
Regression.
Okay.
Multiple regression. Okay. This is also regression, logistic regression. Just one another form of regression. Now I'm going to take the same variables again. Okay, length and weight. Okay, maybe you can take engine size also, and here good. Okay, let me sum this. Okay. Now this here, there will not be any R square values. There will not be T statistics. Okay. Okay. So I'll explain you what are the things to look at here. Okay. In this case, the first thing you need to see. Okay. Directly go to the parameter estimates. Okay. and check the p-values. Okay. So here we don't have a t-values. Okay. Instead we have wall chi-square statistics, and don't worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about it. Look at the p-values only. Same rule applies. Should be less than 0.05. So see, tell me how many variables are significant here. Okay, we have made another mistake here. Use this keyword descending. Okay, because we are actually modeling for 1, not 0. By default, probability model for 0. Probability of non-event. But we are interested in probability of event, right? So we use this keyword descend. Descending means 1, उसके बाद 0. Right? That's descending. Clear? So clear? No. Then you are not clear, then why I'm not saying, you are nodding your head, that's it. See, by default, probabilistic model for non-event. Non-event means what? 0. Right? But we are interested in the probability of finding 1 or probability of finding an event. Right? So we use this keyword descending.
But if the event क्या है? I mean, we are trying to
Yeah.
calculate average, right?
No. Which one? Here it is, see, this is different. This is good and bad, right? Okay, I haven't explained you the data, Katya. That's my mistake actually. I thought initially you actually. Anyway.
जो अपने run में क्या?
Yeah. So let me explain the data first. Yeah, and my mistake. Yeah. So the data here is that if the mileage is greater than 20, then it's a good car. If the mileage is greater than less than 20, then it's a bad car. Okay. So if good is 1, it's a good car. If good is 0, it's a bad car. Now it's clear. Now you know what is the event here, right? Now we are keeping it as a descending. We want to know probability of happening of the event, or it's a good car, right? But if you do not use DAC, descending keyword, it will always find out the probability of finding out 0 of non-event. We are not interested in that. Or from
ascending order.
Okay, so just do it.
एक query और है. You're taking good specifically, ना? तो वो 0 को क्यों देख रहा है? I mean, when we are looking at good cars only, where the data is greater than mileage is greater than 20.
Look at this transformation like it. Now this is not expected from a programming guy. If you computer science, you should actually tell me.
Actually, what will happen?
This is a variable set.
सेट है ना, डेटा सेट में गुड करके एक कॉलम ऐड होगा हर एक कार के साइड में.
हाँ वो मैं
तो उसमें 1 और 0 अकॉर्डिंगली उसका माइलेज से वो उसका 1 और 0 सेंड करना है एक और कॉलम.
But then we are calculating some value here, na? That is what I know.
Okay, now I think I got your confusion. Okay. Type. So instead of good, I just make it a type.
टाइप ऑलरेडी फिक्स.
Type है क्या?
ऑलरेडी फिक्स.
So let's say cars type. But this is a bit disappointing because I think in programming you know that what is the difference between variable and constant, right? First thing you learn. So this is just a variable, sir. See, when you have good here, even if it is good, whether it doesn't matter if it is good or bad, this variable good will have a value, right? For bad cars, it will take a value of 0. Now you tell me what is the
वो डेटा सेट है ना, आप उसको रन करके दिखाई क्लियर है.
Yeah, I'll show you the
कार टू क्लियर.
Yeah. Now can you see it?
नहीं ये मैं समझ गया वो देख के. But
what is the question?
My question is model good is equal to length weight. Right? We calculating something based on length weight, right? And then we are concluding whether the model is good or bad, right?
Model is good or bad. Car is good or bad.
Car.
मॉडल लोग सिंटैक्स है इसका लॉजिस्टिक का.
Okay, right. Maybe car is good or bad. ठीक है. But then I mean we have already specified 1 and 0, right? And then these calculations, so ये तो replace हो जाना चाहिए ना. I mean good.
Okay, now I got it. See, this is historical data. No. You're right. Actually, you're right. Actually, your question is a valid question. Now you think that we already know whether it's a good or bad guy, right? What's the point in doing this? Well, this is historical data. This is what we have seen the event happening. We'll have a model or we'll have a mathematical equation which are going to be used for new data. The new data is yet to come. For new data, we will not have this dependent variable. We'll only have estimates and the weight values. And using this estimate, we'll be able to predict what is the good or bad. So for that, we are doing all these things.
Okay.
Right? For example, I'll tell you one thing. You are an actor. You do your stage rehearsal many times, repeatedly, and then you learn. Right? Then one day you go and perform. Right? There is no retake as such. You go and perform, whatever is there. So it all depends upon learning, right? So we are training this data. We are training this algorithm. This algorithm is to train. Once we have this algorithm, we apply it in new data, totally different. And in that data, we do not know what is a good and bad. But here we know what is a good and bad. So we are trying, have an algorithm which is able to categorize between good and bad, and which can be applied to new data. Okay. Okay, it's already run, right? Yeah. Now you see that actually I have done a mistake. So we are going to use descending. Okay. So let us run this. Okay. So how many are constrained? Yeah, significant. Everything is significant, right? Yes. Right. Now tell me what is the relation between length and the probability that a car is going to be a good car, and its relation between length and width. Positive, negative. Now my question is that what is the relationship between a good car and the length of the car? Look at the estimate. What is the relation? I just want to know positive, negative. Look at the estimate. Positive or negative?
Okay, this thing, no? This is positive one.
So it has a good impact, right? And then weight?
Weight is negative.
Huh?
Negative.
Means more weight, bad car. And more length, good car. Clear? Right? And how much it affects? I would say a bit complicated. This is the law of transformation binding. So there is no direct relation. You get the point? Now, what is it? We do not have an R square here. What we see is this concordance statistics or the C statistics. Okay. Concordance statistics. Here is the concordance. So it's called C statistics. Okay. It's a pretty complicated thing actually. But I have an amazing video on YouTube, and even I have given it to you. Okay. Just watch that. It's a pretty detailed explanation, half an hour video. It's very complicated. Lot of people confuse. Even after 5 years work experience, people confuse what's the difference between R square and concordance. People think that okay, this is similar to R square. That's where C statistics should also lie between 0 and 1, like your R square. Okay, so people think that it's equivalent of R square in logistical theory. It's not. It's different actually. Okay. C statistic value should always be greater than 0.5. Always. If it is less than 0.5, then there is serious mistake with the model. It's a total nonsense model. And the more it is closer to 1, the better is the model. Okay. 0.5. It should be greater than 0.5. Okay.
So it's 94% significant, right?
No, again, that's what I'm saying now. It is not 94%. It's complicated. And I will not speak it here. Just watch that video first, then I will say. Okay? It's going to take a lot of time before I have to try to explain what is concordance, how you compute it. Okay? Yeah, just for definition, I'm saying concordance is that if you pick randomly, you have like a bunch of cards and pick two cards randomly. Okay, one is a good card, one is a bad card. Now you are finding the probability, right? Probability that when you pick two random cards, and one is a bad card and one is a good card, the probability score for one is higher than the probability score of 0. That's what we expect, right? Chances of getting a good card for 1 should be higher than that of 0. In that way, your model is performing good. So that's what is given by concordance. Again, it's a bit complicated. If you don't understand, watch that video first. Then come back.
See, in this case, we would either have value 0 or 1.
So let me show you the actual values. Okay, let us save this data set. So use this output out is equal to say out data and trade is equal to P. Okay. Now I'm saving this predicted value. Okay.
So it will get new data set
It should get a new data set out data
with that.
with the original data also will be there. Okay. Same thing. Just go to out data. Go to the last. We'll have the estimated probability.
Oh,
Now you have your probability values for each of these data sets. Okay. Now you can do a cross check also. Okay. What you do is that just wherever it is greater than 0.5, just write it as 1 and else it is 0 and see how many times this is actual data, this is predicted data, how many times it is actually matched. You can actually create it. Okay. Just go to out data wherever there will be a lot of mismatches also. So our intention is that a good model should have minimum number of mismatches. You get the point? And why you are doing it? Right? Once we have this model in place, we do not use this model for this data because for this we already know what is a good or bad data. Right? For new data, this column will not be there. Right? For that, we will be scoring the data set. And I'll tell you how to score. I have a video on this, again you watch it. This is like next step. This is the next, how we do scoring and all. Okay. Just do it till this point. We will score the data set. That is a new data set, we will score it. And for new data sets, we will get to know what is good car, what is bad car. That will, there we will only have predicted value. Actual value will not be found. Right? Because we don't know actual value. Clear? Clear, right? So you know what how the final output look like. This is what is the company want to know. Which customer has higher score of purchasing my vehicle or purchasing my product. Say for example this customer. Oh, it's at a 0.92. So what do you do? Give a promotion to him. Promotional offer. Give an offer to him. Send him a mail. Did you get the application of this? Now till this time it was theoretical. Now you see the application. Higher probability means higher chances of happening of an event. And in companies, we are really bothered about chances of happening of an event. Whether it's customer is quitting your company, customer is going to buy from your list of products. That's what matters to us. So we just look at the probabilities value and take on based on that we take it.
एक बात पूछनी है मुझे से वो मॉडल हमने बनाया उसमें द आउटपुट वाज 0 गुड मॉडल राइट so I mean we have multiple values listed here and like we have the model developed say we have model developed now we're getting new data so how would we calculate these things?
We will use that's what I'm saying. We will use, I told you right, y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x. We know beta naught, we know beta 1. And when we get new data, we will have x. Y will not be there. Now we have beta naught, beta 1 x. We will not be able to calculate what is the value of y. Okay. Simple linear equation. Simple equation. Sure.
रिस्पांस वैल्यू हमने कैसे का है रिस्पांस
तो b value
this response value this column that one.
Which one? This response value. This is just, I mean, we are modeling for 1. That's why it just gives response value. If you model for 0, if you don't use that descending, it will give response value.
Okay.
Response means that dependent. They are modeling for that. See, there is a difference in it. You need to know what is the probability, right? Probability of happening of an event is nothing but 1 minus probability of not happening of that event. Do you know this or not?
Yeah.
Probability of happening of an event plus probability of happening of a non-event is equal to 1, right? So if you, instead of the response variable, if you put it 0, right? Just 1 minus that probability value will get for 0. Probability of non-event. Without probability of event, right? You can also find probability of non-event. What is the probability that car is going to be a bad car? Just 1 minus. So we'll stop it here.